Paintball legend Shane Pestana has returned to lead the Los Angeles Ironmen. Pestana has led the team to championships in 3 different eras of the sport. The roster he has now to work with is the best to take the field in over 5 years. The Ironmen had mixed results at the first event. They didn't have to play in a relegation game, but they didn't play well enough to make Sunday. They finished a disappointing but respectable 5th in Dallas. Not bad for the first event with the combined roster of the best San Jose Royalty players and the core of the Ironman team from last season. The team is filled with stars and young killers looking to prove themselves. Marcelo Margot and Alex Goldman are 2 of the best players in the league, and Alex Rodriguez was a man on fire at the last event. Veteran Mike Paxson could excel on this layout, as could Toke Hamill in the Snake and Chris Catt on the D side. Young Brandon Cornell could finally break out of his shell as well, and Daniel Ibarra put enough work in Dallas to be the Ironman's 2nd highest ranked player. This could finally be the roster that breaks the Ironman's 5-year win drought. One of the most dynamic squads in the league, Chicago Aftershock is always a fun team to watch. But though they entertain us with their wild ways, they are also starting to cultivate the refined attack needed to not only stay in the Champions Division, but start moving up the ranks. Carl Markowski's game was flashy, fast, and functional at the last event, and he's an explosive snake-side attacker. Ryan McKenna is the team's highest-ranked player, and he had a standout event in Dallas. Leader AJ Lawhead and Rob Velez also turned in consistent performances and are huge assets to the team's push back to greatness. This field layout could be a big boost to off-the-break shooter Chris Sosine, and Kirk Wozny is another fearless player to watch for Shock. This legendary team didn't win many games in Dallas, but they impressed everyone, both peers and fans with their game. And after some much-needed outdoor training time, the PSP Mid-Atlantic Open could see a more favorable outcome for one of the longest-running paintball teams in the world.
All right, the next match up is Ironmen versus Aftershock. You guys have been having a pretty good weekend. You beat both Infamous and Art Chaos, but do you think this is going to be your toughest match in prelims here?
I mean, we have a lot of tough games, but I think this is probably going to be our toughest game. They've been playing really well. They kind of play like we do, so we just got to beat them to the punch and just play better, you know? Just play as a team, get to our spots, lock the field down, and go to work. We know we can do it, so we just got to go out and do it.
You guys have been doing well just playing really smart and staying out of the box, but what are some things that Coach Mikey Bruno has told you to really focus on for playing Ironmen?
Just shooting that guy off the break. We think they're going to try to take a corner or two, so we just got to focus on getting our lanes down the break and, you know, go up on the break. So that's what we're going to try to do.
All right, we'll see if they can get anyone off the break and take the lead.
So Chicago Aftershock about to throw down against the Ironmen, and during that short break, me and Todd were trying to figure out who has the advantage in this bracket. Dynasty definitely has the advantage. They're going to play Infamous after this game. Even if they lose that game, that puts Dynasty at 3-1. Regardless of what happens in any of the other games, they will move on to Sunday's competition. So Dynasty's pretty much a lock. But this Ironman Aftershock game, Aftershock's in the driver's seat still. They're 2-1. And no ties, but the Ironmen are 1-1-1. So if the Ironmen win this game, they're going to be 2-1-1. 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie, which is better than 2 wins and 2 losses.
Yes.
So that would give them an advantage over Aftershock. But if Infamous wins, then that puts them at 2-1-1. So if the Ironmen win and Infamous wins, that makes them tied at 2-1-1. However, then that goes to heads up who won when they played each other. And what was that? That was a tie. So it's going to go to point spread, so we can't even figure it out yet because we're waiting to see what the point spread's going to be on these 2 games.
The only thing
that's certain, could be closer, Todd.
The only thing that's certain is if Aftershock wins, they're definitely in.
Yeah. So Shock trying to play in their first semifinal match in years here in the Champions Division. Lawhead getting shot off the break, and now you're looking at the Iron. There goes Alex Goldman.
Alex Goldman up the middle, across to the wing on the snake side. Ironman getting out to that Dorito 1. 2 bodies stacked in the Dorito side tower. Ibarra is in that snake side can. There goes Carl Markowski. He's going to match up with Alex Goldman. The last time these 2 teams met, it was Alex Goldman bunkering Markowski, Markowski bunkering Goldman. Yeah.
Well, we're watching the two fastest men in the PSP right now, with the exception of potentially Dan Holliday, who has called out both these guys. Holliday wants to race them. Oh, but Goldman gets shot first. So that's going to put the Ironmen on their heels a little bit. Now, though, better field position for the Ironmen, but it's even up on the body count.
Yep, so 4-on-4 now. And, you know, good position across the field for both teams. Nobody with a significant advantage. Shock a little bit farther up. Carl Markowski, however, does like to launch into the 50 snake from this wing over here. as soon as the opportunity becomes available. He's got Velez behind him, who's been playing pretty solid behind him. Mike Paxson is gunned up on Carl Markowski, trying to keep him from making that big move. Marcelo Margot has bumped up into the snake side can. Chris Cat bumping up into Dorito 2. Now he's looking across the field at Carl Markowski. Aftershock went wide over there on the Dorito side, jumped into this Dorito side corner. Chris Sosine now looking that way as he's working with McKenna over there in that corner. Here comes Carl Markowski on the inside. He's going to make a big run through the middle.
Wow.
Carl Markowski.
God.
Oh, my goodness.
He is so, you know, Goldman may match him almost step for step, depending on what the break is and when they start the races. But my God, Carl's burst speed on the field, his on-field reality burst speed inner game is ridiculous. I mean, and his ability to move his upper body while he's going full speed and get those shots accurately is just so high level, man. Unbelievable.
Carl was in the wedge over here on the snake side, just jumped up, ran underneath the X, and went and bunkered Marcelo out of the can on the Dorito side.
He's just such a
with
weapon.
CC looking at him.
Yeah, and just CC wasn't able to get his gun around quick enough to get a shot on him. And he's lucky he was head checking that way when that happened, or Carl might have got both of them.
Yeah.
Because then it would have been up to Paxton to pick him up, and Paxton was locked in a little bit farther out on the lane. Regardless, awesome move by Carl, and now it's evened up. 3-on-3, Rob Velez, McKenna, and Sosine left on the field for Shock. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Long first point here. Chris Cat, Mike Paxton, and Daniel Ibarra, who's been getting a lot of spins, and he's earned it. Though I think Ibarra, we collectively decided that I think Ibarra made a slight mental error in the last game that they lost when they played this morning against Dynasty. Still, though, Ibarra, man, you know, for a rookie coming on here onto the Ironman, I mean, he was a big player for Royalty, but you know, talking about stepping up to the level of competition, Ibarra was their second-ranked player coming out of the first event.
Yeah, and CC makes a move. Looks like he took one, might have bounced. Bumming up that Dorito 3. He's in there clean. Chris Sosine going to match him, jumping out to the Dorito 1. 3-on-2 advantage right now for the Ironmen. McKenna was alive over there on the Dorito side. He made a move. He got shot. Here comes CC cutting through the middle. Looked like Velez almost picked up CC again coming to that 50 Dorito. And here comes CC running down the field. Does anybody pick him up? No, Velez does not pick him up. And CC gets a shot in on Velez. Sosine tries to bail out to the corner, and he gets shot. So Ironmen just picking off Aftershock bodies one by one, trading back and forth. And then Ironmen going to come out on top over here.
Hey, great job. Great performance by Chris Cat there on the D side of the field. And when you have a long point like that, and a lot of times it just comes down to, you know, not to take anything away from Paxton or Ibarra. They did great too. But Chris Cat, 3 confirmed kills from him. Ibarra got 1. Goldman got Lawhead early in that point. So Chris Cat really stepping it up here, setting the tone for Los Angeles Ironmen, and they're going to take the early lead here in this must-win game for these two teams. You know, if Shock wins this game, they will move on, and Ironmen, they have to win this game to, you know, have the best chance of moving on, and not only that, but not to play in a relegation match. If they lose this game, that makes the Ironmen 1-2-1.
If the Ironmen win this game, they'll be 2-1-1.
2-1-1.
And if they lose, 1-2-1. And then if Infamous loses to Dynasty, they will also be 1-2-1. And that'll be the tiebreaker will then be between Infamous and Aftershock, to which Aftershock had won that game. So Infamous and Art Chaos would end up playing for relegation. Ooh. And Ironmen at 2-1-1 would move on with Dynasty at 4-0.
Oh, these next 2 games are going to be nail biters to figure out what's going to go down here in this bracket, and then we got the afternoon bracket coming up after these 2 games, and then we'll see some Challengers Division action with Boom taking on Red Storm and VCK, a top team from Texas who earned the right by having great performances in the divisional ranks before moving up into the Challengers Division. They're going to be taking on Top Gun Union. As you can see that schedule on your screen, there's Mikey Bruno getting his boys pumped up.
A-Rod, Mouse is coming this way. A-Rod's coming this way.
There's his boys, Aftershock, getting ready to roll on the field for them. Sosine, Velez, McKenna, Markowski, and Lawhead. And that's their stud lineup right there. So here we go on the breakout. Aftershock, 4 guns up. They try to get Markowski out wide. Markowski getting shot. So early strike goes to the Ironmen. They already have put one on the board. Score 1-0.
And Marcelo Margot getting shot out of that snake side temple, but Toke Hamill makes it all the way to snake 1 on the break.
Well, Carl got shot by Marcelo, so Marcelo did die early, but he was able to get a kill before he left. 4-on-4 right now. Rodriguez, Goldman, Kolkman, and Hamill. Hamill in good field position here in the snake, and that might be the difference for the Ironmen. Another body comes off for Lawhead.
Yeah, Lawhead getting shot early. First 2 points out here for Aftershock, and he's been one of the guys that has been playing really well for them. As the sun starts to come out on this game, Toke Hamill over here in snake 1, looking to get his shots across the field. Putting pressure back in on Chris Sosine. It's Sosine, Velez, and McKenna again. As Carl and Lawhead are gone, Rodriguez, Goldman, Kolkman, and Hamill for the Ironmen. Looks like A-Rod's gonna try and make his move out there to the Dorito side corner. He makes it in alive. All the way wide down the wires now for the Ironmen. McKenna gonna take that opportunity to bump into the Dorito 1 for Aftershock. Couple long points to start off here.
Yeah,
6 minutes already off the clock.
Seeing the eye in the sky here, pan over to Aftershock side of the field where the 3 players left alive for them are stuck in the pocket in that center. Now Kolkman makes his move out of that back center bunker for the Ironmen. Toke Hamill in real good field position to try to win another one here for the Ironmen. He's playing it slow though, Todd. That's smart. He's been looking at a gun. Gun's been his way. The thing about this snake and the reason why it's challenging is because there's pretty much always somebody that can shoot at you. And unless you're unabated, there's no one in front of you at all, like right now, and you're able to get that shot cross field, and then you get to 50-yard line. So now both the 2 Ironman players on the attack. Velez coming off, getting shot out of his bunker, couldn't get small enough. And now Hamill in the snake. Toke Hamill fought through an ankle, severely sprained ankle beginning of the season. He has no more paint left. And there's Hamill. You can see no pods, but here comes the run through as John Kolkman trying to finish off the last player for Chicago Aftershock. So Chicago Aftershock gonna have to fight, and they're down 2 now. And you know, how big of a win would this be for Chicago Aftershock, Todd?
This would be huge. You know, if Shock wins, they are definitely in. So, you know, if Shock gets a win out here, they'll be making Sunday for the first time in, I can't even remember the last time Aftershock.
Oh, you know, the last time Aftershock took second in the World Cup when they had the guys from Houston Heat. When it was
that 2010?
2009. It was Nick Sloviak. They had Tim Montresor on the team. It was the guys that all went to Heat and Infamous.
There was that New Jersey event. I'm pretty sure they made Sunday there. I don't think they made the finals. They made the finals that World Cup.
Well, that was the frustrating thing for Shock, is they rebuilt their squad by bringing guys like Nick Sloviak and and the crew that they had, and they rebuilt the team, and they went and played the Russians in the finals. Got smoked. They didn't win a point. It was a really bad final matchup. It was complete destruction for them.
I remember Kirill just feasting.
And then after that, then they lost the majority of their players to a couple different teams, and then it was rebuilding time for the past 3-4 years. So this would be the win here in this match right this second would be the culmination of 4 years of work for Chicago Aftershock to make it to the semifinals. We're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere.
They say don't be perfect, be clutch. Being clutch is one of my biggest assets. You can rely on me to be clutch, and I rely on the Vanquish. play for Team Infamous, and the Vanquish takes my game to another level.
There's John Kolkman here in the pits for the Los Angeles Ironmen. We'd like to welcome Steve Rabakoff from GI Sports, paintball legend. Played for many big teams over the years. He's back with us in the commentator booth. Rab, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Sunny day. Perfect day.
Yeah, and we've had some great action thus far. And it's getting a little crazy here in this morning's bracket. Ironmen are sitting 1-1-1. Aftershock's 2-1, no ties for them. Dynasty is 3-0. And Infamous is also 1-1-1. So, you know, and this Ironman Aftershock game is huge because if Shock wins this, like we said before the break, but if they win this, that would make sure that they go on to the semifinals, and it would be the culmination of about 4 years of work rebuilding this legendary team.
That's what we've talked about. These guys have stuck together. Similar to X Factor, they kept their core together, got these young guys and stuck with it, got beat down a lot, and here they are.
It feels like just like yesterday, though, that we were sitting at a Phoenix event watching Aftershock run crazy all over the field going, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
Well,
We'll
that's
get it
why
together.
this morning when you were, this morning Todd was like, I'm just so impressed because Aftershock, their technical ability right now to play these smart points and move it. I'm just like, that is a complete 180 from where they were a couple years ago. So, what an amazing job by Shock to build this franchise back up. However, they're not there yet. They still got to take down the Ironmen, and the Ironmen are winning by 2 points. And the Ironmen talking about trying to rebuild a legendary squad. This is the best team they've had talent-wise in 5 years.
And the Ironmen just lost 2 bodies on the break. AJ Lawhead staying in that back center, gunning down that Dorito side corner. And looked like Chris Sosine picked up Ibarra running out here to the Snake side temple. So just 3 bodies left alive now for the Ironmen. Marcelo Margot jumps into Dorito 1. Mike Paxson in the Dorito side tower. And Eric Humphreys getting the spin out here. He bumps over into the Snake side temple. Looked like he just took one in the loader. Referee going to run in right now, give him a check.
Never like to see those guys creeping on you like that.
Yeah, here comes AJ Lawhead up the middle. Finally able to play a little bit this point. Back up into that center A where he has launched from a few times, done a lot of damage. So all 5 bodies left alive for Aftershock. Carl Markowski in that wedge over here on the Snake side. Got Velez behind him again with Sosine and Cliff Ginter now in for McKenna over there on the Dorito side, backing up out of that Dorito 1, looking to see if he can get a shot down the wire. Velez going to spread the field a little bit as he jumps through the swamp behind Carl Markowski. There's Humphreys on your screen, Paxson and Margot.
And that's a good move for Aftershock.
Oh, and that one broke right there. Humphreys in his goggles. He's going to come walking off the field.
Here comes Rob Velez going down Snake side, which he should.
But Velez had 2 full pods in his pocket. They both just fell out as he jumped in there.
Yeah, that's the type of field we're playing over here. Sauceman was going on the field yesterday with 15 pods.
No way.
15 pods.
pods?
Yeah.
You even have loops for 15 pods on your packs?
Yeah, customized.
Here comes Markowski getting chewed up, trying to play aggressive. I think he was able to shoot out Marcelo Margot. So Marcelo Margot.
It's Carl Markowski just headhunting Marcelo this match. That's twice. Twice now that Markowski has broken through the middle and gone and found Marcelo. So Aftershock, after going down 2, coming right back, putting a point on the board.
That was a big one too, because that 3-point spread when these low-scoring, some of these
Especially
low-scoring games on this field, that was a huge point win right here for Chicago Aftershock. Great job by the roster out there for them. Good job by Markowski, Lawhead, Sosine, Velez, getting it done here. 10 minutes and 34 seconds remain in this important prelim match. 2-1 is the score. This game brought to you by Die Precision. This is the company driving force behind the Ironmen. So, man.
The shocker of the day.
Well, the shocker of the day, the shocker of the tournament to me is that our Chaos went 0-4. And we definitely spent a lot of time talking about that in the last match, but we saw Clint Moore get interviewed, and he just looked kind of, just kind of stunned. But anyway, right now, Shock is 1 point away from tying it up here against the Ironmen. We'll be right back. There's Shane Pistana, the captain of the Los Angeles Ironmen, talking to Toe Camel. There's Chris Catt, chilling, waiting for his next spin. It's an interesting time in the pits, man. Even if you're getting a lot of reps, when you're running 2 squads or just the focus, you kind of have to stay sharp at all times, be ready to go at any point. And because there's so much at stake, man. These guys put so much time in, so much effort. It's so difficult to build a winning paintball team. There's only 5 gigantic events a year.
Oh,
look
Carl
at this.
Markowski. What just happened there?
He's looking for his loader.
What happened?
Carl Markowski ran so fast.
He got a core sample.
His tank came flying off of his loader, or off of his gun.
I can see the smoke pouring out of his tank. It's in the cut of the bunkers right there. He's going to reach in and grab his tank.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before. He was booking so hard. Sometimes you'll see somebody's loader come flying off. His gun hit the tether on the bunker, and his loader came flying off.
Or his
tank came flying off.
So Carl has no weapon right now. You need the tank. You can play without the loader. You can't leave the loader there because
But
if you
you
leave
need
any
the
of your
tank.
equipment, yeah, you need the tank. That's like you can't drive a car with no gas. You can't fire your gun. Look at look at Carl somehow able to make it to the 50.
And you know what? That's great because at least the Ironmen, they don't know that he's having these problems, but him being there is going to slow those guys down.
But it does Shock know he's having problems because they might look over and see, oh, Carl's doing great. He's in the 50. He's going to start, just handling from there. So maybe they don't know what has just happened. And the rest of Aftershock is stuck in the pocket.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I really wish I had watched the Shock breakout instead of the Ironman breakout at this point. I really hope we have a replay of that. And it sounds like we do. Well, wait for the replay for the speed demon Carl Markowski running so fast and hitting so hard. His gun exploded.
Looks like
Carl's trying to communicate with his guys, and they're looking at him like, all right, man, you're in the snake.
Yeah.
Do work. Go to work, Carl.
well, Carl does have 2 guns on him right now.
Yeah.
So no matter what, as long as Aftershock can look over Carl, if somebody comes to try and bunker him, they can at least maybe get a body out of it. But right now, 3 guns on Carl Markowski.
Shock needs a kill right now.
Yeah, Shock needs to take advantage and get up the Dorito side. Because nobody looking the Dorito side right now. All 5 bodies looking snake way. This is the opportunity that Shock should take to jump into that second Dorito and look to get some kills across the field.
So Carl still trying to communicate his gun issues with his teammates. And he does have a backman now. Player has come out wide behind him.
Oh, looks like Ginter gets shot, though, for Aftershock out of that Dorito side corner. But A.J. Lawhead still alive. A.J. Lawhead should launch up the middle, and Sosane should get up on that Dorito side. Velez now coming in behind Carl Markowski. Markowski still tying up 3 guns, and A-Rod getting shot for the Ironmen. Ibarra makes a bump over here into the 50 snake. So Kolkman, Cornell, and Ibarra all looking at Carl Markowski. That's going to allow Lawhead to make a move. He jumps into the 50 Dorito. And smart move there by Lawhead. He's going to have an opportunity. Velez needs to protect Markowski, and that is what all they had hoped for, was to get Cornell to come in. Velez shooting Cornell. Oh, and Cornell didn't get Markowski.
Nope.
So huge break right there for Aftershock, as Velez is able to take out a body for the Ironmen and still maintain his life. Carl Markowski still alive. So 4 bodies alive now.
Great teamwork over here on the snake
Talking
side.
to each other like, hey, this is what's going on.
Well, Carl's like, hey, you have to watch over me. No matter what, man. I can't protect myself.
I'll
so
be
you
your
need to protect
bait.
me.
Just cover me.
Yep.
Oh, but Lawhead gets shot out of that crucial 50-yard line spot on the D side. It's a big loss for Shock now. 3 players left alive for both teams, but only 2 of them have working guns for Chicago Aftershock, Chris Sosine and Rob Velez. So they're going to have to hope that Daniel Ibarra, John Kolkman, or Alex Goldman makes a mental mistake here so that they can get a kill, or it's going to be Ironman's point. And since Ironman is up 2-1 right now, it's really in Aftershock's court. They're going to have to push forward. 6 minutes and 17 seconds to go, guys.
The move would be here is if Carl can tell Velez to come take his spot maybe he can go take his switch spots here. So they still think there's 2 players on this side because Carl's doing nothing over here with his gun. And he's there, but maybe they need to switch spots here.
Yeah, or maybe Velez comes up with Markowski, and then Markowski plays the rabbit in the hole, old school play. Hey, my gun's down. I'm just going to run through and just take the hits, and then you play off that chaos and maybe take it to a 2-on-1.
Or if maybe Markowski can dive into the backside of Ibarra's bunker.
Oh, he just threw a pod and he missed. Oh, there's the catch. And there you go, Carl. Get rid of your paint. You don't need it.
Yeah. Carl is just, man, he's doing the best he can with no gun, man. He missed the first toss on the one back. Oh, did he catch one? Carl finally catches one cross field.
He should have left that pod on the ground.
So, hey, man, he did the best he could. He did get shot out of there.
Oh, hits him.
Did you see that shot?
Wow, right through.
Velez was shooting in between the crack of Snake 1 and shoots Ibarra down the wire. Alex Goldman taking off down the wire. Velez picks him up. Kolkman still in the backfield for the Ironmen. And Sosin trying to find Alex Goldman, fighting furiously. And Sosin actually comes around the inside and picks up Goldman. Now it's a 2-on-1.
Wow, so it's Velez playing stellar over here, snake side, and Sosin tucking in enough to keep the aggressive push from Goldman from taking him out. Velez got that crossfield shot, so what an amazing performance by Sosin and Velez here. 2 kills for Sosin, 2 for Velez. Who's going to take out the last one? Or can John pull off a 2-on-1 right now? That would be a huge boost to the Ironman. That would put him up 2 with not a lot of time left. So Shock needs to close this point out real smart. They cannot go stupid right now. This is a huge point, man. Velez closing the gap. John Kolkman, and John Kolkman finally gets taken out. Looks like Chris Sosin with the 3-pack. What amazing work by Chris Sosin coming over from Infamous. He wasn't getting a ton of playing time for Los Angeles Infamous, and he has been a huge player for Shock. And man, Rob Velez earning some stripes there, and good job by Carl Markowski to maintain his composure, even though
we need that replay.
Yes. Oh man, can we please see the Carl Markowski
First he dug
replay?
a core sample, I just saw that thing flying.
Yeah, so wow, we got ourselves a tie game, 4:03 left. So look at Carl Markowski digging, and he is going to dive in and look at his gun. Watch his gun right here, and he goes right into the bunker and hits it against his shoulder. And there goes his bottle, flies with velocity. Boom, into the crack and through the crack. It's rewinded a little bit here. Now notice this is a small mistake. Carl has his head down. Instead of having his eyes up, he wanted that last burst of speed, and that's why he hit into that bunker. So if Carl had ran with his head up, it may have taken a step off, but he wouldn't have dove right into that bunker and had that problem. So, that's nothing, that's just a small mental mistake right there from Carl on that run out to that snake.
I have never seen that. This is
all my years, I've never seen it.
years of paintball. I've never seen that. That was a first.
Jesus, man.
Wow.
Carl, watching Carl, you never know what's
Carl has a lot of paintballs firsts. He really does.
Even in this event.
Seriously.
Carl Markowski, you just saw that craziness with the tank. Yesterday, he had a move where he came from, I think it was from the snake.
He ran through under the A.
And not only did he run through the A, but I mean, I've seen a lot of run-throughs in the A, but I've never seen anyone Superman dive underneath the A, and as they're gliding along the blades of grass, shooting the guy as they're sliding through full speed. So, but that's why Carl's one of my favorite players to watch, man. You have your calm, methodical killers like, Marcelo Margot, who had an amazing point, a 5-pack pretty much. We only got 4, but he did get Yoshira to draw that penalty in that game against Dynasty. But then you got guys like Carl, you just never know what they're going to do, man. You never know what's going to happen. So, tie game right now. A little momentum shift over to Aftershock side here. 4 minutes left to go. Must-win situation for these two teams. If Shock loses, it's going to put them on 2 wins and 2 losses. Ironmen are 1-1 and run right now. So a win right here would give them a really good chance of moving forward, but it depends on what happens in that infamous Dynasty game, which will be coming up after the conclusion of this match.
Oh, wow. Man. And here comes, is that Toke Hamill? Yeah, Toke Hamill. Oh, there goes Chris Catt getting shot off the Dorito side for the Ironmen. Toke Hamill bumps into the wedge on the snake side for the Ironmen. Marcelo Margot behind him, Mike Paxson, Alex Goldman over there with Paxson in the Dorito side tower. Aftershock getting that Dorito side of the field locked off right now with a couple bodies. AJ Lawhead up in that center can. Rob Velez Playing back and forth. Here comes Carl Markowski out of the Snakeside Temple into the Snakeside wedge. Carl Markowski liable to launch from anywhere. Launch to anywhere from that spot. Carl Markowski looking down the Dorito side underneath the A. AJ Lawhead still locking off that Dorito side. Alex Goldman looking to make a move when possible. Watching that Dorito side of the field. Aftershock with the field spread out on the Dorito side corner. Chris Sosine in the Dorito side tower, mirrored up with Mike Paxson. Just cutting down the Snake side of the field, not letting Toe Camel or Marcelo Margot go anywhere. And AJ Lawhead continuing to have a rough game when it matters the most out here. Another early death.
Marcelo just gets got right there. So
Carl Markowski called a shot. He shot Marcelo, and he was sitting there pointing, and sure enough, Marcelo doing the slow walk out of his bunker.
4 on 3.
Getting owned by Carl Markowski. So here comes Shock. They have a one-body advantage. Can Alex Goldman, who has 4 confirmed kills, he's the confirmed kill leader for the Ironmen right now, putting in work. Mike Paxton and Toe Camel still on the field for them. It's 4 on 3. Shock with the advantage. Only 2 minutes left to go. Could we see an overtime, boys?
On this field, absolutely. But can the Ironmen afford another overtime right now?
I mean, that would be, I've never seen a team have 2 ties ever. And that could happen. 3 minutes in the overtime period. How it works is, we throw three minutes on overtime, but if no team wins during the prelims, then it becomes a tie. On Sunday, though, which I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow, considering how evenly matched these teams will be during tomorrow's competition, we could see a shootout tomorrow. We could see one-on-ones for the victory. And here comes Carl Markowski. Carl makes his move, but Carl gets shot. Huge kill, crossfield. I think that was Alex Goldman chalking up another one, crossfield. He got AJ Lawhead earlier, which is the only person that's died so far for Shock. So now, but not a lot of time left. Minute and 15 seconds left. Carl Markowski trying to push forward. Didn't quite have the timing down and realized that lane cross-field, Alex Goldman's still looking at it.
Aftershock with a good spread across the back line. Both corners and Chris Sosine in that Dorito 1 right there. So going to be tough for Ironmen to push in here. But Toe Camel puts himself in a good spot at the 50 Snake. He might be able to make that move that Marcelo did earlier because of the way that corner is in set. But here comes Velez. I don't think he's going to want to let that happen. He bumps into the back of Snake 1, and he's going to look to get some shots across field. But Ironmen don't look like they're ready to make that push either. I think both these teams trying to lock it up and go to overtime. Nobody wants to get a penalty here, give away a point. Nobody's going to try and make the charge and give the other team an opportunity to win.
Well, what a great job at this point by Alex Goldman. Here goes last couple desperation moves, 20 seconds. Looks like Toe Camel gets taken out, and Mike Paxton digs out wide. Alex Goldman moves up. Here comes Shock on the push forward towards the flag. Velez and Sosine, can they get it done? Not a lot of time left. Sosine's going for the win. Sosine comes through and grabs the flag, but he gets shot by Alex Goldman and Mike Paxton, and that is pretty much going to do it here for regulation time. And we are going to be going to another overtime period. Wow, what a, crazy game. Woo, good job, like I was saying, though, by Alex Goldman, who really stepped up here in this point to keep it close, inner point. And, he got himself 3 confirmed kills. So the only bodies coming off for Chicago Aftershock, they all got killed by Alex Goldman, and proving why he's one of the best. So, wow, 3 minutes left, boys. 3 minutes left here in this matchup in this overtime period.
And Aftershock is 2-1 coming in this game. And Ironmen are
1-1.
So, and with these point differentials, the way this bracket's going, especially with the infamous 1-1-1, we already know with RKS, they're 0-4, so they're out. But anyone can make this still. 3 teams duking it out because obviously Dynasty's 3-0.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even call it, man. It always comes down to the break. Anytime you see something like this happen, it comes down to the break. How many bodies come off? Quick points are dictated by fast kills off the break. So we're about to see the overtime period. We're going to throw 3 minutes on the clock, and we are here at OXCC Paintball Park in Chesapeake City, Maryland. Carver runs an awesome field out here. So stick around. We'll be right back here. And who's going to win this match? We do not know. We'll find out in just a few moments. So here comes Chicago Aftershock. We're looking in their pits as they are about to spill out to play this overtime point. Same with the Ironmen. On the field right now for the Ironmen, Mike Paxton, Alex Rodriguez, Marcelo Margot, Daniel Ibarra, and who's going to be that fifth guy? We'll see in a sec. Chicago Aftershock. They got Rob Velez, Brian McKenna, AJ Lawhead, and Carl Markowski. Rob Velez, the kill count leader for Chicago Aftershock, as he had that awesome. Well, actually, no, it's Chris Sosine, the kill count leader, but they're very close. Sosine with 6, Rob Velez with 5. Lawhead has 2, Markowski 3. Brian McKenna yet to chalk up a kill here in this close game. But McKenna earned the right to get his reps by playing so well at that first event. Probably played good in practice too. That kid's a talent, and he will be one of the big players on this team. It's just going to take him some time to cultivate that talent.
I have a quick story about Brian McKenna. When we lived in Canada for about a year and a half, Brian McKenna went to school with Justin. He was a neighbor of ours.
So let me get this straight. Justin and Marcelo went to school together in San Diego.
Correct.
And then Justin and McKenna went to school together in Canada?
They went to school. They played hockey, ice hockey during the weekday, snowboarding, and then we got him into paintball, and here he is.
Really?
Yeah, so that was his introduction to paintball, so I'm glad to see.
Oh, so you're claiming
No,
McKenna.
I'm not. No.
I didn't even know McKenna was Canadian until last week.
But they went to school together. It's a crazy story. Small world.
Is there anyone else, just before we get deeper into these PSP events, that Justin went to school with
I'm
that I
trying
don't
to
know
figure
about,
it out.
that plays pro now?
That's it. In 2 countries.
You learn something new every day, man. So here we go. On the breakout, that's Carl Markowski with the big dig into his spot. Did he make it in clean? Looks like he did. 5 bodies alive for both teams. And here comes the push from the Ironman. Oh, no, looks like a body. Alex Goldman gets shot out. And that spot is immediately filled by Alex Rodriguez. So the early strike goes to Chicago Aftershock. They have a slight advantage right now.
And here comes Lawhead up the middle. He's going to take off running and gets a shot on Ibarra.
Hey, great move. Great move. I mean, hey, it's crazy, but then Carl Markowski takes one to the face, so now it's 3-on-3.
Oh, Marcelo looks like he grabbed a bounce. Referee going to come and check him. In the back. How's it looking? This could be huge.
Come on, ref.
And Marcelo is...
I mean, the referee is scouring Marcelo for hits. He's been doing it for 20 seconds. You got to get in there and make that call.
Well, the referees have walkie-talkies, like we know.
Yeah.
You know, so if somebody from across the field is telling the referee to check him, you know, in certain spots, then, you know, that's what he's trying to look for. So Marcelo's still alive, so it is a 3-on-3 game here. 1:45 left to go in the overtime. If this game ends up in a tie, we are going to have some crazy tiebreakers.
We don't even know where to go with the tiebreakers. We can't even figure this one out.
Well, it's really going to come down to what happens in the infamous Dynasty game. Dynasty's pretty much in. If a win here would assure Aftershock that they'd be in, but with a minute,
you know what? Actually, sorry, this gives life to, if these guys tie, then this gives life to Infamous.
Absolutely.
Because if Infamous is able to get a win, then Infamous will be in for sure.
Wow. This is why I like Saturday, man. I mean, Friday is the, okay, who came to the tournament to play, who's going to be good right now, who's going to step up. Saturday is just always, it's like the doing math day as the games progress, trying to figure out, all right, well, who won, who tied, who lost. We don't normally see too many ties. What's the point spread? Who beat each other heads up? And it looks like, I think we're going to see a tie, boys. It's 3-on-3 right now, and no one's really in position for either team to do anything with 45 seconds left to win this game.
Yeah, under a minute. Oh.
See that?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Mike Paxton looking to make a move. He comes across to the snake side can. Marcelo Margot, he's going to take off. He dives into snake 1. And Marcelo Margot looking for some heroics right here. Here come the Ironmen. What is going to happen? Chris Sosine locking off the snake side. Velez now turns on Marcelo. Velez unable to get a shot on Marcelo as he jumps to the 50, but only 5 seconds left.
Oh, and he shoots Marcelo.
It's not enough time, though, I think, Rab, as there comes Alex Rodriguez with the run-through, taking out a couple bodies. So Marcelo Margot and Alex Rodriguez go into the breach. Mike Paxton was there to try to pick up the flag, but just not enough time. So the Ironmen are going to take another tie here against Shock. So that puts Shock 2-1-1. And now the Ironmen are going to be 1, 1, and 2. I've never seen 2 ties for a team in the prelims ever. That is how difficult this field is, man. This is a challenging field. And next up, it's going to be Infamous taking on San Diego Dynasty. And wow, so Todd, like you were saying, I think this gives life to Infamous, because if they can put win up against Dynasty, that put Dynasty 3-1, they'd move on, and then Infamous would be 2-1-1, which is better than the Ironmen, and 2-1, yeah, and better than Shock. Well, no, then that would put Shock in it. That would make a tie then with Shock.
Basically, both those teams are rooting for Dynasty right now.
Yeah, but so let's think of this. Yeah, okay, well, hold on. So Dynasty comes out and they win. That means Dynasty goes on, and Infamous would be
1, 2, and 1.
1, 2, and 1, which would put Aftershock in. And then if Infamous wins, Infamous would be 2, 1, and 1, which is exactly the same as Aftershock. And then when Infamous played Aftershock, Aftershock won. So that would put Shock in.
Shock's in.
So Infamous needs to win.
Yeah. If Infamous wins, they're in.
No, because they're both tied 2, 1, and 1. So
yeah, they would be. If Infamous wins, then that means that puts Infamous,
they tie Shock.
That they tie Shock on the score for the prelims as far as wins and losses. So that puts Shock in. So does Infamous have any chance then? Because Aftershock won that head-up game against Infamous. I think
Aftershock's in no matter what.
It's head-to-head. It goes head-to-head first. Or point differential. No, it's head-to-head.
Todd, head-to-head first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's head-to-head first. So I think Dynasty and Shock are in.
Yeah.
But until they tell us officially?
It was only Shock. Shock wasn't going to be in if they lost. But with that tie, Shock's in.
Wow.
Like you said, this is absolute craziness happening here today.
But then, as we're watching some of the highlights from this last game, but then who's going to be playing in relegation? I don't know, man. Yeah. So it looks like it's probably going to be Shock and Dynasty. We'll be right back.
This isn't just a field. This is my home. This isn't just a team. This is my family. This isn't just a sport. This is a way of life. This isn't just a league. This is the MSXL.
Welcome back. If you didn't see that last match between Ironmen and Aftershock, you missed a huge game. It was tied in overtime 2-2. Ultimately, they tied. Now, during one of those points, your gun was completely down. You were at the 50 snake. You stayed in for so long. You were communicating with the players. I saw you tossing pods to the other snake player. Did you panic at any point when your gun first went down?
Not really, because I knew that you know, the gun is only half of what you got to do out there. You know, the other half is communicating and knowing where the guys are and to draw guns. And I figured if I can do that, I'll be able to, you know, at least do half of my job.
Were you a little surprised about how long you stayed out there?
Not really, just because I was pretty far away from everybody else. So as long as I didn't get dinked out, you know, I could just kind of squirrel around wherever I needed to. My gun was completely split in half. It was pretty crazy.
So before you guys went into overtime, you were running down the field with the flag, trying to hang it to get that win. Did you know Mouse was in the Doritos?
Yeah, I knew he was over there. I knew that they didn't have enough time to grab the flag and hang it. I did it the last second. So I was just kind of hoping for the best, just like last second. Hopefully, I didn't think it would work, and sure enough it didn't, but you gotta try. So.
It was a good try. Talk to me about that overtime. You knew that in the last 30 seconds they were gonna come at you hard and you just needed to sit there, but what was running through your mind in that moment?
Well, for a while I was trying to call out the D1 because I shot him, but I guess the ref didn't see it. Other than that, I was just like, I knew we just had to hold it down. I figured A-Rod would come up the middle as he did, so I just kept peeking to the left side. But ultimately we held it long enough and we just tied it up. So we got 1 point, I think, for a tie.
I keep saying it this weekend that you guys are impressing so many people and you can no longer be underestimated. How do you feel you've been performing and where do you think you can go? Can you go to the very, very top?
I believe so. I mean, this shows another aspect of our game, and it's something that we needed as a team. And I feel like we're playing off each other well. We're playing the field well, and I can't wait to play tomorrow.
You guys have done a fantastic job. Great matches by Aftershock. Next up, we are going to have Infamous versus Dynasty. Let's see if Infamous can get the win they need or if Dynasty will go undefeated in the prelims.